According to the Environmental Protection Agency, Americans discard about 13 million tons of textiles a year. Only 15% of that is recovered for reuse or recycling. Joining me today is Eric Shanin, Division Manager for USAgain in Seattle. Thank you for being here, Eric.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here.
And tell us, how big of an issue is this when it comes to clothing waste? Because I know most people think of food waste, extra plastic bags, but not always clothing.
I know, and those are the things we're most familiar with. But clothing is interesting because it's both a social issue and an environmental issue. On the social side, a lot of people don't understand that for 70% of the population of the planet, used clothing is the only thing they can afford. So if that's true, how is it possible that we allow anything to be thrown away? But environmentally, for every ton of clothing or textile that ends up in a landfill, there's 7 to 14 tons result in volatile greenhouse gases. It's, you know, and people don't understand this, but it's huge. The cumulative effect is greater than for the recycling of paper and plastic and other things combined. Only aluminum's higher.
Well, that's incredible. And if you really think about it, just how much clothing we have in our homes,
yes,
what we don't wear, what we end up tossing, that kind of thing. What do you guys as USAgain do to combat this problem?
Well, the biggest thing that we try to do, because recycling, I guess, is just hard, right? So we try to make it convenient. We partner with schools and businesses and property management firms and things. We find we try to make it easy by putting, you know, convenient drop boxes in places where they actually are going anyway. I'm going to buy some milk or something, and there's one of our boxes right there. And that's the key. And
you make it easy for people.
We make it really easy.
We're seeing some video right now of USAgain, and there are bags and bags and bags of clothing.
Yeah, and there's Domingo.
And there's Domingo. What do you do with the clothing that you recover?
Well, most of it gets sold, actually. It goes about half of it goes to thrift stores in the United States, the other half goes abroad. Some of it goes to wholesalers and graders. But the point is, we find a way to keep it out of the landfill.
Okay. For the people who do, they go through their closets annually and they collect bags and drop it off at Goodwill or whatnot. Is that a method that you would continue to encourage?
It is one of the best things that you can do. I mean, ultimately, it's just finding a way. If you have something that can be recycled or reused, make sure that it gets recycled or reused. You know, whether it goes to us or goes to somebody else, that's the great thing.
And how can people help? Are there other ways people can help?
Well, of course, every responsible, caring, environmental sort of a business owner in the state needs to have one of my boxes on his property. You know, USAgain. But you know, beyond that, it's that mindset, because it's more than just clothes. Clothes is just a small part of the problem. So you know, ultimately, again, if it can be reused or recycled, don't throw it away.
And again, we've mentioned this before when it comes to cups, paper, cans. We're so good about recycling here, especially in the Northwest. Do you think it can catch on as far as clothing and textiles too? I
mean, obviously my business is based on it. You know, everything I care about is based on it, and we'll work for it. You know, and it'll happen eventually. I mean, great change happens, you know, in small steps.
Well, you're definitely doing your part. Thank you so much, Eric. For more information about this program, just go to our website, KOMO-News.com, and click on KOMO for TV. Coming up next on First News at 4.